Welcome back to another episode of Should You Plat, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Destroy All Humans on the PS4. After I finally got the Platinum Trophy, I'm going to look back at my journey towards it, to look at all the good and bad points to help you decide whether you should Platinum the game or not. And to be clear, I'm not talking about the PS2 re-release, which had its own separate trophy list. No, instead this video is going to mainly focus on the PS4 remake of the game that recently came out, so I can tell you whether you should play it, plat it, or just downright avoid it. That one bullshit PlayStation Platinum unlock. Okay, so let's start talking about the good aspects of this trophy list, and one of those major plus points for me is the collectible trophies in the game, and there is only a bronze trophy called Harvest Season for picking up your first of the probes. So in the original game there was anywhere between 20 and 50 of these scattered around for you to find in every main location that you'd visit, yet in this game you only need to pick up your very first one. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Destroy All Humans PS4 also includes a lot of cool and fun and pretty unique trophies in its list that get you to do some crazy and weird things in the game, and I always like trophies like this as they get you to do things that you probably wouldn't do in the original game if you were to just play through it normally. One of these happens in the beach section of one of the levels, as you'll see a sign saying "Don't feed the sharks." Yet if you were to pick up someone on the beach, or any human at all, with your telekinesis powers and then just throw them into the water, you will unlock a silver trophy called Don't Feed the Sharks, which, while it's really easy to do, I just thought it was kind of funny they put in some trophies like this. There is another one related to a donut shop and whether or not you can fly through the donut ring using your jetpack without actually touching it. And this was actually quite a little tricky sort of trophy. It definitely took me a couple of attempts to just fly through it without touching the ring of the donut, because it's quite awkward to do it, because Crypto will always bump his head on the top of the ring, causing you to sort of land on the ring and void the trophy. But thankfully you can just keep going back and attempting it as many times as you need. Again, as this game's a alien abduction sort of game, there is a trophy related to abducting a cow and just throwing it. So you can do that when you get into your UFO. And it's really easy to do, you'll just get that one naturally. Pyrokinesis, on the other hand, is a really tricky one and quite misleading, as it tells you need to set something on fire and throw it at a human to kill them. So I tried setting humans on fire and just throwing them, but that didn't work. So then I tried to blow up vehicles, which sets them on fire, and use that to kill an enemy. But again, that just didn't work, and I didn't actually get the trophy, which was a bit annoying, to be honest.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So after looking online, I realised that you had to do something very specific, so I travelled back to the Turnseed farm and found a giant hay bale in one of the farms that I set on fire using the distinctor ray or whatever it's called. So once I threw that at an enemy and they finally died, the trophy popped. So while it's an easy one, it's kind of misleading with the description, which was a bit annoying. A lot of the trophies you'll be getting in Destroy All Humans come in the form of combat trophies, and these are perhaps some of the funnest trophies you can have in the game. So you'll get one pretty much straight away as you PK a human and throw it into another human. These are quite simple to do. There's another one for grabbing a human and then throwing him in the air, but catching him before he falls to the ground or hits an object, so you'll get a trophy for that, which is pretty easy to do. You just sort of press the trigger. There are also trophies related to your brain harvest that you can do, so if you press square you can sort of leech into a human and make their brain pop, and once you collect your first brain that you've drained, you'll get a trophy for that, and that's just naturally, you'll need to do that as you go through because it's quite helpful to get more DNA from them, so that's definitely one you'll easily get. There's another trophy related to destroying enemies using your powers and then telekinesis and weapons at the same sort of time, so you'll just get that one naturally as you're playing, as you're bound to use both at the same time. And I don't think you can actually do that in the original game. I'm not 100% sure there. I think that's a new improved feature they added to this one, but I could be wrong there, so don't quote me on that. Another fairly easy trophy that will just come naturally is the one for killing a load of enemies with an explosive. So you just find one of those red barrels scattered around, and if you raise the alert level, everyone's sort of chasing you, so they all sort of clump into a nice group, and you can easily just slam a barrel down. There are plenty of places to do that one, so it's easy enough. There are also trophies related to other abilities that Crypto has, such as the scanning humans for their thoughts, and that's just one that you'll need to do for story progression as well. And it's kind of funny to just do it anyway and just see what people are thinking, because there's quite a lot of jokes with them. Again, there's other powers for your UFO, not just your Crypto himself, so you'll get trophies for using some of the UFO abilities and moves, such as the Abducto Ray, where you can pick up objects. If you pick up an object like a car and use that to destroy a building by throwing it into it, you'll get a trophy for that, causing destruction. There's also a trophy for using your sort of shield that you can bring up by pressing circle. So whenever an army shoots a missile at you, if you bring up your shield and destroy the missile because it hits the shield, you'll get a trophy for that, and that's just one that's really easy. Crypto has another trophy for his dash ability, which is definitely a new thing they added in this one. So when you find rocket launcher enemies and they shoot a rocket at you, you just need to dash out the way, and that'll get you the trophy. That's a really easy one for you to do. So, Destroy All Humans also includes a few story-based trophies in its list, but they're not really that story-heavy, to be honest. There's not really one for completing every mission. It's usually every couple of missions, or every time you go to a new location, basically, you will get a trophy. So you'll get one straight away, pretty much, as soon as you start the game and the UFO lands on the turnip seed farm. As soon as Crypto gets out and steps foot on the grass, a trophy will just unlock for you visiting that location, and that's pretty much a common theme with the story-based trophies in this game, as you'll get one every time you visit a new location, essentially. I quite liked this, as it didn't bog the trophy list down with pointless sort of story trophies that you just get naturally, as there's only a handful of these. So you'll get one for visiting the farm, Rockwell with the carnival, the other towns, the military base, the Dockland sort of area in Uniontown, and then the capital area where the White House is. There are also a couple of story-based trophies for defeating the various bosses in the game, but there's only a handful of these. I think there's 3 bosses in the entire game. There's the military general who gets in a giant mech who you have to fight, but that boss fight is pretty easy, to be fair. His attacks are quite simple to read and dodge. It's just a long-winded fight because of the amount of times you have to drain his health bar. But other than that, it's an easy fight for you to get through and shouldn't really give you too much trouble. You'll then get another trophy towards the end of the game as you do the first of the 2 final bosses. So you'll be fighting in your UFO this time to defeat an even bigger mech, this time the president. And again, this boss fight is even easier than the military general, in my opinion, as it's just really easy. The final boss, however, for the gold trophy, that one is quite hard. It took me 2 attempts, but mainly because I knew the boss from the PS2 version, so I knew what to do basically to avoid it. But there's a lot of cheap attacks that this boss has, and it's very easy for your health to just get quickly drained, so that one might take you a few attempts to unlock that trophy. But if you stick at it and look at a couple of guides online and learn the patterns, you'll easily get it. Onto the upgrade trophies. So, Destroy All Humans differs from the PS2 version in that you don't actually have to upgrade every single thing to its maximum. So as you're playing through the game, you will earn DNA for every mission you complete, and you can also farm more DNA by harvesting all the human brains that you might find in the level, and this is definitely worth doing as it can give you extra money, DNA, to spend early on to buy more upgrades. So there are trophies tied to the crypto and the UFO upgrades. So as soon as you purchase your first crypto upgrade, you will unlock a bronze trophy, which is pretty easy to do really. You should get that pretty early on, probably after you finish your first mission. You can also get another bronze trophy for upgrading something in the UFO. So for me, you want to upgrade the shields for both straight away. Try and get them to the maximum as quick as possible. Then maybe Crypto's electric gun and the dash ability, as they'll be really useful later. So as soon as you upgrade a whole row, a whole branch of abilities to the end, so it's usually 3 in a row, you will upgrade that and get another trophy for your troubles. So Destroy All Humans also has a bunch of just random trophies that I didn't really know where to sort of put them. So one of them you will unlock by exploring the offbeat parts of the menu, the mothership menu. So once you go to this bit and you look at the concept art, you'll unlock a simple bronze trophy, which I thought was a bit weird. The description is really vague, but that's basically all you need to do. Just go and view some of the concept art. There's also another trophy for using your transmogrify ability, which allows you to transform a object like maybe a bench, a bin, a box, a rock or something like that, or even a car, and turn it into a item for you to use. So it might end up being some ammo. As soon as you do that once, you'll get the bronze trophy for that. I probably should have put that in the weapon abilities, but I just thought it was a really random one to just transform something. But as soon as you do that once, you'll get the trophy. Another trophy is awarded to you, a bronze trophy, for replaying a mission. So you'll probably end up having to do this anyway by the time you've completed the game, in order to get some of the challenge, optional objective trophies out the way, as each mission will have different objectives for you to complete along with your main objective, and that's a trophy for that. So I found out that once I completed a mission, I thought I got all the objectives, but I missed the very first one, so that forced me to then go and replay that mission, even though I was pretty sure I did destroy that fucking car. It didn't give me the objective complete. So you just go into the mothership menu, scroll all the way to the right into the archives section, go into the hollow deck thing, and just select whatever mission you need there. It could be any one you want. You can do it on the very first mission or the very last, it doesn't matter. As soon as it starts to load in, you'll get the bronze trophy for that out the way. So there's another one as well for selecting a alternate costume. So as you're playing through the game, you'll just naturally unlock some of these. So all you need to do is just go and equip it in the menu, and the trophy will just unlock instantly. And that's another easy bronze trophy for you there. There's another one for mashing the square button if you're ever harvesting a brain or trying to transmogrify something. So if you just mash square, it'll do it quicker. So it's definitely something you'll want to be doing anyway. So you'll just naturally unlock this bronze trophy, Swift Harvest, just because it's just quicker to do it with mashing the button. That's the good out of the way. It's time to look at the bad trophies in Destroy All Humans PS4 trophy list. And one of those is the gold mandatory option trophy, which requires you to complete all optional mission objectives in each mission that you do. So these can be anywhere between 1 or 3 optional objectives in a given mission, and these can range from killing enemies with radioactive cals to setting enemies on fire, maybe destroying a load of aerials, or doing other random sort of side activities as part of the main mission. So what makes this annoying is that it's quite hard to see when these optional objectives actually appear and when they actually change. So when you complete one, you'll get a tick on that, but instead of then showing you the next one or giving you an access to a screen where you can see all of them for that mission, you don't actually know what's going on. And when you're just naturally playing through it, it can sometimes be hard to see that the objective has changed to another one now, as you don't actually know how many are in the mission until you complete them. So here, there's the next objective is to kill enemies with these rocks. But as the mission, you're just clearing the path for the rocks, so the truck can get through, so you don't really see it. And it's just really easy to miss objectives, because sometimes the screen will update with a new objective when you're right on top of it, so you haven't really got much time to see it. And if you happen to just kill all the enemies in that area without noticing it, you might trigger a save point which locks you out of that trophy. Like here, I run down here ahead of the truck and I shoot enemies, and it blows up all the landmines, but there's a mission here to kill the enemies with these landmines. So now I'm just fucked here, and I've got to restart this mission now to grab this little objective. And you can't just complete the objective and quit out of the mission. You have to do the whole thing again, making sure you do all the other objectives in the mission, so you don't miss out on those to get the award. And it's just really frustrating, and it's really disheartening when you get to the end of a mission and you find you've missed one, because you know you've got to replay the whole fucking thing. The game also has a bunch of challenge trophies, and the main one for completing all of the challenges is the bullshit one that's really annoying. But you'll also get a couple of trophies for completing challenges with 3-star ratings. So each level will have 4 challenges for you to do, and these are the same 4 themed challenges throughout each level. So there's the Armageddon, the Abduction, the Race, and the Rampage, and you'll unlock trophies for completing each one of these types for the first time with a 3-star rating. So to get 3 stars, you've got to maybe kill a load of enemies, get the most points, or complete it the quickest. And these can be hard, but they could also be quite easy. But they're definitely ones that you want to do once you've got all your abilities unlocked, or you've upgraded most of them to the maximum. So the Rampage ones will generally just require you to kill a bunch of enemies in a specific area. You might get a optional sort of objective to get more of the DNA points by using an ability. So here in the farm, you get more points for using the telekinesis or PK to pick up enemies and slam them down. And I think you also get more points if you drown them in the lake. So you need to make sure you're keeping an eye on the optional objectives for each mission, because that's how you get the 3 stars on those. But for the most part, they're pretty easy, to be fair. The other trophy you'll get for 3-starring a one is for the abduction missions, and these are probably the hardest ones in the game. So these generally involve the UFO flying above you with its abduction beam coming down, and you then have to use your PK ability to just throw things in. So most missions will give you a specific item for you to put in there. So on the farm it's cows, and that one, to be fair, is quite easy. It did take me 2 goes to do it, but it's quite an easy one to get the silver trophy for. The next challenge type are the races. So these are ones where you'll definitely need to have the dash ability on Crypto, and you really want to get the dash ability bottom row fully upgraded, because that'll help you do a continuous dash. So you sort of like hover skate as if you're Marty McFly around the place, and that allows you to go a lot faster. So it's basically you chasing a drone that drops out a load of these DNA strands, and you definitely need to pick these up because they give you points. And I think if you take your time and don't get them straight away, they give you less points. So you need to be right on the drone's ass at all times, making sure you hold down that dash ability to just keep skating around. And if you do that and manage to keep up with it and grab pretty much all of those things it drops, you should find yourself with a 3-star rating and another trophy for your troubles there. So another challenge type you'll get is the Armageddon challenge, and these are perhaps the most fun and pretty much the easiest ones to do, as you're in the UFO and you just have to destroy a load of things, a load of buildings in the environment to rack up a load of points. The trick to getting the 3-star rating is to use your ability to pick up an item, usually a vehicle, and drain it of its energy so you can get your shield up. So you need to make sure you're looking for those the yellow circles on the radar, as those are the vehicles you need to pick up to get that bigger points. So there's another trophy for just 2-starring every challenge type, so that's an easy one you do. You don't have to do all of them, it's just one of each type, so that's an easy trophy to get. So the hardest one is to get a 3-star rating on every single challenge, but like I said, most of them are easy. They may take you 1 or 2 tries, but you should get them near enough without trouble. But the hardest ones are the abduction ones, as these are the most bullshit ones of the lot, as you can do pretty much everything right here and find that you end up with just 2 stars because you've just not got enough points for some reason. So they're just really annoying to do, these ones, because a lot of times you'll find that when you get to certain areas, the game just doesn't spawn the stuff that you need, so you're just sort of wasting a load of precious seconds trying to find something to throw into the beam, which then results in you just getting a measly 2-star rating. And it's just so fucking annoying when you realise that you failed this, because it generally means that you've got to just restart it, and that just means you're in for a really long loading screen as you load back into the challenge, and then you're to a save screen where you have to wait even more for it to just save before you finally get back to the challenge. And that can just really, really grate on you after a while if you're failing a challenge multiple times, because it just feels like a lifetime as it loads and then loads the save screen and then saves on the save screen before you finally get back to the challenge. It'd be really nice if in this release you just instantly got back to the challenge, because you're still in that area, so I don't really know why it has to load the whole level again to put you back to where you were. And as you can see from that shot there, it's quite a long time for the loading screen as it is. Then you get this black screen as it saves your progress. But why is it saving? I've failed the challenge. You don't need to save that. Just put me back where I was and let me try again instantly. Because it just makes you more annoyed for when you do finally restart it. And that usually just puts you off and just makes it just so much more frustrating than it ever needed to be. Some of the later ones, like this one in the Nevada sort of military Area 42 base, it's just really bullshit, because every time I tried this, I would always end up with 2 stars because I just couldn't get enough for the final bit. So here you can throw in the military guys and military objects from Area 42, and that'll give you the bigger point bonuses. And at the end of it, when you go back to the runway where you start, there's a lot of big planes that you can sort of throw in. But no matter what I did here, I just never seemed to get enough, and it was just really annoying. I'd always end up with 2 stars and be really close to the 90 points needed for 3 stars, and it just really grated on me after a while. And then on Uniontown, that was another one that I really struggled at, because after you get past this garage and you get a load of enemies thrown in here, once you run up the road towards the end where the saucer stops, you'll often find that there's just nothing there for you to throw in to get that last few points to push you into that 3-star rating. Because I'd get up here and I'd throw these guys in, but then half the time the road would just be empty, and as I would run up the road to try and find something in the distance, I'd grab it and then turn around, only to realise that the game just spawned in a load of things for me to get. And why couldn't it have done that before, I don't know. That's just really frustrating. And I would always just end up with 2 stars on this one. It took me a long time to get this challenge to 3 stars. And I was doing the same sort of route every time, getting the same sort of things. So I don't really know what I did differently when I finally did get 3 stars. And one of the things about the abduction challenges and what makes it really annoying for this trophy is just how the abduction works and how you throw things anyway. So you need to aim your crosshair at something and then use your shoulder button to pick up that item, hold it down and let it go to then throw it. But a lot of the times when you're trying to rush this, you'll often find you pick up anything but the item or person that you want. The amount of times I pick up like a pole or a crate or something on the floor that's by it or behind the thing that I actually want was just really frustrating. And when you're trying to do it quickly, you'll be doing this more often, picking up the wrong things, and that just wastes time. So that's pretty much all the trophies here. Time to give it a final rating. My final rating is Plat. So while this Destroy All Humans PS4 version of the game has a lot of fun trophies, and it actually has more silver trophies than the original, and doesn't have those grindy DNA harvest point trophies from the original game, I think that the PS2 version was a more fun platinum, as the fault of this game and those annoying challenge trophies just really drained my enjoyment of the game, and I don't ever remember them being that frustrating on the PS2 version.